God says, the angels are in shock because only you still don't know what happened last night. Watch this now. God says, hurry up. This is your last chance to know the full truth before it's too late. Open this message before 9 p.m. Something happened while you were sleeping. There was a powerful shift in the spiritual world, a movement so strong it shook the heavens. The angels stood still, holding their breath, but somehow you are the only one who still hasn't seen what took place. And God is saying you need to know what happened right now before it's too late. Don't scroll past this. Don't miss this moment. This could be the one moment in your life that changes everything. Stay with this message all the way to the end, or you might miss a breakthrough you've been praying for your whole life. If your heart feels stirred as you hear this, please comment Amen now to show your faith. Last night, while the world was quiet and your eyes were closed in sleep, a special decision was made in the heavenly realm about you. There was a conversation in heaven where your name was spoken in front of angels. God saw all the weight you've been carrying, the silent tears no one knew about, and the prayers that seemed unanswered. And in the stillness of that night, He released something in your favor. But here's the difficult truth to understand. The angels are shocked because you're the only one who hasn't received this yet. It's not because God didn't send it, but because the enemy has been trying to distract you, cloud your mind, and delay your vision. That's why this message is so urgent. There was a decree of deliverance written specifically for you. A door was unlocked in the spiritual world, and if you don't recognize it now, if you miss this moment, you might walk right past the miracle God has set before you. That's why God is calling you so clearly and urgently. You have to know what happened. You have to wake up to what was done for you before this spiritual window closes again. This is not a message meant to make you afraid. It is a message of rescue. A rescue for your soul, your purpose, and your next chapter in life. But you have to act on it. If you believe God is revealing this to you for a reason, comment 1-1. As a sign that you believe and are ready to receive what He has done. You've been crying out for clarity. You've been waiting and hoping for something to change, for things to make sense again. You've asked, God, are you still with me? And last night He answered. But because you were so exhausted and the battle has drained you, you couldn't see it clearly before. That's why God is speaking louder now. This is your wake-up call. What happened last night was not just ordinary. It was a spiritual unlocking. Chains that held you were broken in the unseen. Generational curses began to shatter and fall away. You haven't seen this change in the physical yet, but it's on its way. When it arrives, it will be bigger than you ever expected, but only if you receive it with open arms. God has been protecting you from attacks you didn't even know were coming. Last night, the battle became more intense, but heaven won the fight for you. Your angels stood guard and defended you when hell tried to steal your peace. You were preserved not because of your own strength, but because of God's great mercy. And now, God is trying to show you that your deliverance is already happening. You are not waiting for it. It has already begun. But you must align yourself with what He has done before this blessing passes you by. That's why this moment right now is holy and important. There are blessings that have been hovering just above you, waiting for your spirit to wake up and take hold of them. These blessings cannot fall into a distracted or sleepy soul. They need someone who is ready and willing to receive. God is saying to you now, prepare yourself. I'm about to pour out everything I promised long ago. I have not forgotten you. I have not turned away. I've been getting everything ready for your breakthrough in ways you could never have seen. That delay you felt, it was not rejection. It was divine timing. I was holding back the floodgates until the perfect moment, and now the time has come. This is your moment. You must understand that today is not just an ordinary day, not after what happened last night. The angels who watch over you have seen what's coming. That's why they were shocked when you woke up still unaware. They expected celebration. They expected praise because heaven already moved. But now God is waking you up gently yet urgently, because if you remain asleep spiritually, the enemy will try to confuse you and cause you to miss your moment of favor. But God says, not this time, not today. You will not miss it if you stay with me. You are not forsaken. You are not forgotten. Heaven has marked you. You are chosen and protected. Even in your lowest moments, God's hand was on you. And now the shift has happened. The timing has changed. Last night was the turning point. But what you do next will decide what comes after. God is giving you one last chance before this spiritual window closes again for this season. There is favor reaching out to you. Your destiny is trying to catch up with you, and your heart needs to be open, awake, and ready to receive. That pain you have carried for so long, God saw it all. The loneliness you never spoke of, God heard the silence. The prayer you whispered quietly in the middle of the night, unsure if anyone was listening, God was listening. And last night He answered, "Now all you need to do is open your eyes and receive what He has already done. That is the truth. It's already done. Your miracle is in motion. Your victory has been released, but you have to open your eyes to see it." If something deep inside you knows this is real, comment 222 as a declaration that you trust God's timing. God is not late. He is right on time. This message found you at the exact moment it was meant to. He is calling your heart to wake up to what has already happened for you in the spiritual world. The enemy hoped you would miss this moment, that you would be too busy, too tired, or too distracted to notice. But God interrupted your day with this message because He won't allow you to walk past your blessing without knowing it. It's time to open your hands and expect restoration, expect answers, expect chains to finally break because heaven has already moved, and now it's your turn to step into it. If any part of your heart feels this message is meant for you, I ask just once, like this video, so this word can reach more people before it's too late. Is it possible to attract money by simply speaking some miraculous words? This 9-word script, verified by Harvard University and 6 neuroscience labs, proves you absolutely can. People all over are using it right from their couches and reporting unexpected deposits in their bank accounts, debts cleared, and lives upgraded. It takes less than 30 seconds to say, but this secret won't stay online for long. Click the description and comments now to access it before it's permanently removed. The angels were ready to celebrate with you the moment you woke up. They had already seen the chains fall. They saw the darkness lift. They were prepared for you to rise with joy and fire in your heart. But instead, they watched you carry yesterday's burden into today. They were silent and stunned because heaven had already declared victory. Yet you didn't even know you had won. That's why God is speaking louder now. He won't let you walk in defeat when He has already released your victory. If your faith is rising even a little, comment 333 to declare your trust in God's perfect timing. You need to understand something sacred. What God set in motion last night was not small. It wasn't just for comfort. It was for your calling. You've been asking for purpose, direction, and meaning. You've been searching for answers that don't come easily. But while you slept, heaven moved everything into perfect alignment. The delays you faced were not punishments. They were God holding back the storm until your spirit was ready to step into the plan He made just for you. And now God says this is it. Step into it before the moment passes. There are seasons in life when God moves so quietly that you almost think nothing is happening. But then there are moments like this when His voice breaks through all the noise, calling you directly and urgently. This is one of those moments. If you knew what was waiting for you on the other side of this step of faith, you wouldn't hesitate. You would run into it with everything you have. There's a miracle waiting for your yes. A breakthrough waiting for your surrender. God is not holding back. He is waiting for you to believe it's yours. Last night, Angels were sent out on your behalf, not because you're perfect or because you've done everything right, but because God loves you deeply. Because He sees your hidden wounds, the battles you fight quietly, and the way you keep showing up even when you feel like giving up. He rewarded that faith during the night. That's why He sent this message to reach you now, because the answer is already on its way. But the enemy is working hard to convince you otherwise. There's a lie the enemy wants you to believe, that you are forgotten, overlooked, and unseen. But God says you are marked, chosen, and protected. And last night, He made that very clear in heaven. He removed barriers that were blocking your progress. He softened the hearts of people who have been resistant to your growth. He turned away harm that was coming toward you. You don't even know how many attacks He blocked quietly while you slept. You don't see it, but heaven has been working overtime to carry you through. If you're ready to walk into what God has already released, comment 5-5 now to stand in agreement. God is revealing the truth about your life. You were born for something greater than what you've settled for. The limits others placed on you, the fears you've lived with, and the doubts that follow you like shadows. None of those came from God. He didn't create you to live in silence or fear. He made you to roar with faith and to walk boldly into every room that fear once told you to avoid. And last night, something inside you shifted, even if you didn't feel it, even if you're still unsure. Your spirit knows deep down, it knows. God is not just restoring what was broken. He is doing something brand new, something far greater than what you lost. You've cried over closed doors, but God is now opening a path that has never been walked before. That's why you feel the weight, the intensity, and the strong emotions right now. Heaven is pulling you into something unfamiliar but holy. This isn't just about blessing, it's about becoming the version of yourself God had planned from the very beginning. To become that person, you need to know that what happened last night was not just spiritual. It was prophetic. You are not late. You haven't missed your moment, but you are standing at the edge now. The clock is ticking. The gate is open, but it won't stay open forever. God says this is your moment to step forward and leave behind every lie and limitation that has tried to define you. You were made for more. You were created on purpose, and heaven is confirming that now. That's why you feel this urgency inside you. It's because the time is now. What happened last night has already changed everything. The old chains that held you won't hold you anymore. The fear that used to paralyze you won't have the same power again. God's hand is rewriting your story right now. He is putting all the broken pieces back together. He is opening doors that no one can close. And even though you may still feel unsure, the shift is already happening. You are not waiting for a move of God. You are standing in it right now. You need to understand how serious this is. You are not just another name in the crowd. You are not just going through random battles. What you have been walking through has been preparation for something very specific and divine. And what happened last night unlocked the beginning of that new season. That's why the angels were so shocked that you didn't know yet. You woke up thinking it was just another ordinary day, but heaven is on high alert because your life has just entered a new timeline. Your awareness of this change is the key to walking fully in this new season. If your heart is still holding on through the storm, comment 777 right now and let heaven know you still trust. There is a reason you didn't give up, a reason you kept going even when everything inside you wanted to stop. God saw that. Every tear no one else noticed, He counted. Every time you kept moving forward, even when your heart was breaking, He honored you. That is what last night was about: reward, release, and restoration. God doesn't forget those who stay faithful. Even when the world forgets, He steps in at the perfect time and makes everything beautiful again. That is exactly what is happening now. He is restoring everything the enemy tried to steal from you, and even more. What if everything you have been taught about money is a lie? A hidden 9-word prayer that was once buried inside a secret FBI report is now helping thousands of people attract wealth and abundance without even lifting a finger. Scientists have studied it carefully and say this prayer activates a part of your brain that is over 150 million years old, a part that controls how you experience abundance in your life. This discovery is supported by Harvard University and has been tested in several top neuroscience labs, making it life-changing for so many. But the government might remove this secret at any moment. So if you want to know it, click the link in the description or comments right now before it disappears forever. You have been through a kind of spiritual battle that most people would never understand. You have fought with doubt when things looked hopeless. You have faced disappointment when things didn't go your way. You have felt discouraged, wondering if anything would ever get better. You have cried out in the dark, asking God, "Where are you?" Even when you felt alone, God was right there beside you, holding you when you couldn't feel Him, and surrounding you when you thought no one was with you. And now, the silence is breaking. God is showing you the reason why things have been so hard lately. It's because the enemy was panicking. The enemy knew what heaven was preparing for you. He knew your blessing was on its way and tried everything to make you give up just before it arrived. But you have no idea how close you are to everything changing, and God does. That's why this message isn't random at all. It's a divine interruption, a spiritual wake-up call for you. The blessings that have been waiting just outside of your life are now beginning to move toward you. And this time you will not miss them. This time you will step right into them because you have been prepared through fire, refined through pain, and kept safe by grace. The storm did not break you. Instead, it built you stronger than before. And now the rain you have been through is about to turn into your harvest. You have been asking God to show you a sign, to confirm that He still has a plan for you. This is it. The timing of this moment is not an accident. God chose today, this exact moment, to whisper to your soul that the shift has already happened. You don't need to wait any longer for your breakthrough. You only need to recognize that it is already here. Everything you thought was delayed was actually being aligned behind the scenes. Now it's time for you to move forward as if the promise is already yours because, in truth, it is. If you believe this message came to you at the right time, comment 999 as your personal confirmation that you accept it. There are certain moments in life when God's voice breaks through all the noise, not with a loud thunder or a big roar, but as a deep, quiet knowing inside your spirit that says, "This is for me." If you feel that right now, it's because your spirit remembers what your mind is only beginning to understand. Something important happened in heaven while you were sleeping, and that event is now starting to show up here on earth. This shift might be invisible to your eyes, but it is shaking the ground beneath your feet. This is the answer to prayers you forgot you even prayed. You don't have to work hard or beg for this change. All you need to do is align your faith with it. Lift your head and open your heart to what is coming. This is not a maybe situation. It is a sure thing. God is not a man who lies. What He has spoken over your life will come to pass. Last night was not just a suggestion from heaven. It was a command. Heaven moved. Angels were sent out with assignments to make things happen for you. And now you are walking into a new reality. A reality where the pain no longer controls you. A reality where your past no longer defines who you are. This is the season where your true identity is being restored. You are not the mistakes you made or the hard things you have been through. You are not the failures or losses. You are a child of the King, and last night, your Father in heaven set everything in motion to bring you back into alignment with your true self. Not the broken, scared version of you, but the bold, chosen, anointed version of you. That version is already rising inside you. You can feel it every time you catch your breath and think, maybe God really is doing something new in me. And He is. It has already begun. This moment is sacred, not because of the words I am saying, but because of the presence of God surrounding you right now. You might not see it with your eyes, but something holy is wrapping itself around your heart. You might not hear it with your ears, but heaven is rejoicing because of you. You are not behind in life. You are not forgotten. You are exactly where you need to be to receive what is coming, but you need to stay awake, spiritually awake, because what started last night is still unfolding. You don't want to sleep through your own breakthrough. God isn't asking you to be perfect. He is asking you to be present, to believe, and to receive. This isn't about deserving a blessing. It is about knowing who your Father is. And your Father is faithful. He is just. He is loving. And He is pouring out something new over your life right now. You may not understand all the details. You may not see how it will all come together yet. But God never needed your understanding. He only needs your faith. If you hold on to that faith now, you will see what He promised you long ago. For too long, you have been wondering when your season would change. You have watched other people move ahead, receive answers, and walk into joy. And you asked yourself, when will it be my time? God's reply came in the middle of the night when your soul was quiet enough to hear the whisper of heaven. He said, now, He hasn't forgotten you. He has been preparing you, and what happened last night wasn't delayed favor. It was perfect timing. This is the hour when everything begins to make sense, but only if you open your eyes and step into it. If your heart is still believing through the silence, comment 1010 to show your faith in His plan. Don't underestimate what is happening right now. This message found you because your spirit was crying out for confirmation, and God, in His mercy, answered. He did not leave you in the dark. He didn't leave you wondering what to do next. He sent a word to wake you up before the enemy could steal what is already yours. The truth is heaven was activated on your behalf. That is why things have felt strange lately. That is why your emotions have been up and down. Your soul has been feeling pulled by something much bigger than what you can see. Last night, the scrolls of your destiny were opened. The plans God has been quietly forming were released. Your name was called in the courts of heaven, and when God speaks your name, everything has to respond. Chains break, fear runs away, doors open. Angels take their places and change their assignments. The atmosphere around you has already shifted, even if your circumstances haven't caught up yet. But they will, because what starts in the Spirit always shows up in time. And that time is coming faster than you think. Why are neuroscientists so interested in this 9-word sentence? Because speaking this sentence once a day is changing people's lives, turning their financial stress into sudden blessings. More than 19,000 people have already used it to erase their debts and unlock a life of wealth, freedom, and peace. The results are so powerful that many believe this is truly divine. If you're seeing this, consider yourself lucky because this page might disappear at any moment. Click the link in the description or comments to learn this secret before it's deleted forever. You may feel like you're not ready. You might still be holding on to disappointments from the past, but God doesn't need your perfection. He only needs your surrender. You don't have to figure everything out. You only have to stay close to Him. The same God who whispered over your life last night is walking with you today. The same power that shook heaven is now filling your space with peace and clear direction. This is what favor feels like when it first comes: unfamiliar, overwhelming, and holy. You are not cursed. You are not abandoned. You are chosen by God for this exact moment. Every attack you faced, every season of waiting, every heartbreak you suffered, all of it has led to this. And now you're being invited to see what was always meant to be yours. The delay didn't ruin your destiny, it protected it. God didn't forget His promise, He kept it safe. And now he is putting it in your hands, not because you earned it, but because you kept believing even when it didn't make sense. If you feel a shift happening inside you right now as you read this, comment 1515 to agree that your time has come. The spiritual world is more real than the things you can see. What happened last night was not just symbolic. It was real. Heaven is not silent about your future. It is active and working. God has been arranging divine meetings, preparing the right people, aligning situations, and creating opportunities quietly behind the scenes. You haven't seen it yet, but all of it has been for you. He has been adding the final touches to the next chapter of your life. That's why the enemy tried so hard to confuse you, distract you, and wear you down, but it didn't work. You are still standing, and that means you are still in position. This is not the time to shrink back. This is the time to rise up. You are not the same person who started this battle. You have grown stronger, wiser, and more awake spiritually, even if you didn't realize it at the time. Now, God is trusting you with more than before, not just more blessings, but more purpose, more influence, and more understanding. You are being placed in a position to carry something bigger than yourself. That's why you couldn't break, no matter how much pressure you felt. You were being prepared for release. God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called, and you, beloved, are called. You didn't miss your moment. You're not late. You're not overlooked. You are exactly where you need to be for the door that just opened. The angels know it. Heaven knows it. Now it's time for you to know it too. Everything is coming together for you to step into divine timing. And when you do, nothing will be able to stop what God has already declared. The heaviness you feel is not defeat, it's transition. Your spirit knows something new is coming. That's why you have felt restless. That's why nothing feels the same anymore. You are being pulled out of the old and into the new. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's unfamiliar, but it's also holy, and you are not alone. God is with you. He has been with you every step of the way, even when you couldn't feel Him, even when you thought He was silent. He was still working, and now He is showing you what He has done. This is not just about a personal blessing. It's about your purpose in God's kingdom. You are not being lifted up only for yourself. You are being lifted up so you can lift others. You are being restored so you can bring restoration to others. You are being healed so you can bring healing to others. This is bigger than you, but God knew you could handle it. That's why He chose you, and last night heaven confirmed it. Right now, a fresh anointing is resting on your life. A new peace, a new strength, and a new authority. You don't have to explain this to anyone. Just walk in it. Let the results show what God has done in your life, even in secret. People may not understand you. They may question how or why this is happening, but they didn't see the war you fought quietly. They didn't see the angels standing guard over your bed last night, but God did, and that is why your reward is already coming to you. For too long, you have allowed the weight of the world to define you. You have carried shame that was never yours to carry. You have listened to voices telling you that you would never be enough, never get free, or never succeed. But last night, those lies were defeated in the spiritual realm. The accuser was silenced. Heaven spoke a better word over you. Now you are being asked to believe that word. If you don't, you will stay chained to something God already broke off of you. And that is not who you are anymore. If you feel God calling you out of who you used to be and into who you truly are, comment 1717 to receive it now. You felt it, didn't you? That stirring in your chest, that deep sense that something is shifting inside you, even if you can't explain it yet. That's not your imagination. That is the Holy Spirit waking up something inside you that has been buried too long. Your faith, your voice, your boldness, your joy, your peace. They are all rising again because God has breathed new life into you. And when God breathes, dry bones come back to life. Silent hearts begin to speak again. Hope that was dim begins to burn bright once more. That is what is happening in you right now. This isn't just a spiritual moment. It is a holy assignment. You have been chosen to carry something from heaven down to earth. Your life is no longer about just surviving. God is moving you from surviving to truly living, from waiting to walking forward, from wondering to knowing. That is exactly what last night brought into motion. It was the moment when the waiting and delays changed into a powerful release. It is a holy exchange where your pain and sorrow are swapped for beauty and joy, where your tears and sadness turn into dancing and celebration, and where your heaviness is replaced by a garment of praise. This is not just a wish or a dream. It has already started to happen. You might be wondering, why me? Why now? Why is this happening this way? The answer is much simpler than you think. It is because God trusts you deeply. He sees beyond all your flaws and cracks. He notices the heart that kept beating even when everything around you was dark and difficult. He sees the part of you, your soul, that remained soft and kind even when life tried to make you hard and cold. He sees the child inside you who still believes, even through every storm and struggle. And God is telling you, you are ready. You don't have to be perfect to be chosen. All you have to be is available. And right now, your willingness to be available is all that God needs to do something amazing in and through you. There is a special signal about wealth, a secret phrase made up of 9 simple words that was hidden away in a government vault for more than 70 years until now. This phrase is like a brain trigger used by the most powerful and successful people to attract unlimited money and abundance, while most of the world continues to struggle financially. But here's the thing. The moment too many people find out about this secret, it could be taken down and deleted forever. So if you want to learn it, you need to click the link in the description and comments right now before it disappears. What happened last night was not just an emotional feeling or a fleeting moment. It was eternal. It was a perfect meeting of heaven's timing and your preparation. You have cried many tears, you have fasted, you have worshipped with all your heart, you have doubted sometimes, begged God, waited patiently, and even forgotten what you were holding on to in faith. But God never forgot about you, not for 1 second. And last night, in the quiet of the night, God reached across the vastness of eternity and touched your personal timeline. He moved what needed to be moved. He cleared the way for you, and now you will start to see changes happening around you in ways you never even asked for. If you are ready to step into this new season with open hands and a willing heart, comment 1002-112 as your way of agreeing with what heaven has done for you. This is not just an ordinary moment in your life. This is sacred. You may not yet see the whole picture, but you will definitely feel the change. You will notice clarity where there was confusion, calm where there was chaos, and strength where you felt weak. Doors that seemed shut and impossible to open will begin to swing wide open. Conversations that you thought had ended will start again. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach or impossible will suddenly appear like gifts from nowhere. But nothing is random here. It is all God. It is all Him. He is showing you just how good He really is, how close He has been to you all along, and how faithful He has been in every moment, even in your darkest hour. You might be wondering, what if I mess this up? Listen carefully now. What God is doing in your life is not fragile. It is not something that could easily break or fall apart. It does not depend on how well you perform or how perfect you are. It is firmly rooted in God's promises. He started this work in you, and He will be the one to finish it. Your job is not to make it perfect. Your job is to partner with God's plan. Trust it. Walk with Him one small step at a time, even when it feels scary, especially when it feels scary. Faith was never meant to be easy or comfortable. It was meant to be powerful. The angels were shocked by what they saw. They saw chains falling off you, and they expected you to run free. They saw light returning to your life and expected you to dance with joy. They heard God say, "It's time," and they waited for your response. But you didn't know what to do yet, and that is okay. That is why this message came to you, not to judge or condemn you, but to wake you up, to stir your heart, and to bring you back into alignment with what heaven has already decided. No more second guessing yourself. No more holding back. The spiritual battle has already been fought and won. Now it is your time to live in the victory that has been won for you. The ground before you is yours to walk on. The door to your future is wide open. The light is green. Heaven is supporting you every step of the way. You will see favor chasing you down. You will see restoration come from places you forgot even existed. You will see joy return like the bright morning sun. And it will not happen because you are lucky. It will happen because you are deeply, eternally, and wildly loved by God. He is not just fixing what is broken in your life. He is building something far better than you could imagine. He is not trying to bring you back to the person you used to be. Instead, He is revealing who you have always been meant to be. That person is powerful. That person is covered in grace. That person has a future full of hope. Do not settle for the identity of your past. Do not allow old fears to define the new freedom you are stepping into. You have come too far and seen too much to turn back now. God has brought you here for a reason. He is not finished showing you what He can do. So take a deep breath, lift your head up high, let go of the past and allow it to be behind you. The shift you have been waiting for has already taken place. Heaven has already moved. The only thing left now is for you to walk it out. And the best part is, you won't walk alone. The same angels who were shocked when you didn't know what to do are now walking right beside you. As you step into this new truth, a divine alignment is happening right now. Things that once seemed tangled and messy are starting to come loose. Delays are turning into sudden answers. Hearts that were closed and guarded are softening. Doors that were locked tight are unlocking, and this is not just a coincidence. It is the result of God's word being spoken and released over your life. That is what last night was, a divine result of your faith, your endurance, and your silent prayers. God didn't forget what you did in the dark. He didn't overlook the times you stayed faithful when no one was watching. Heaven noticed everything, and now heaven is responding. If you have been praying for confirmation, comment Amen right now and receive this as your personal word from God. God is not playing games with your life. He is not teasing you with half hope and broken dreams. When He said He has a plan for you, He meant it with all His heart. That plan did not disappear when people betrayed you. It did not vanish when a job didn't work out or when a door slammed shut in your face. It did not die when you were left with nothing but questions and confusion. That plan is still alive, and last night it was activated once again. The parts of your life that felt dead and lifeless are now coming back to life. You might not see it with your eyes yet, but the roots are starting to move underground. The ground beneath you is shifting. The miracle you have been hoping for is already growing and developing. You have stayed faithful through the fire. You have held on tightly during the storm. You have praised God even through the silence. And now, God is rewarding you, not with the kind of reward the world gives, but with the kind only He can give. He is giving you a peace that doesn't make sense to the world. He is giving you clarity that removes all confusion. He is giving you provision that doesn't add up by normal rules. God is not waiting for your situation to be perfect before He steps in. Instead, He is stepping right into your imperfect life and blessing it anyway because that is who He is. He is not a distant God or a cold judge. He is a loving, present Father who answers prayers at exactly the right time. That is why last night happened. That is why you are feeling what you feel right now. This is your time. This is not something that is coming in the future. It is already here. The angels have already started moving pieces into place to bring your blessings and breakthrough. Don't let fear pull you back. Don't let overthinking steal from you what already belongs to you. You don't need to earn this. You need to accept it with open hands and an open heart. God is not holding your future over your head like some prize you might never reach. He is placing it in your hands like a beautiful gift you are finally ready to open. If you feel this word opening your heart to believe again, comment 22 as a way to show your trust. You are not the same person you were yesterday. Something inside you is waking up. A part of you that you thought was lost forever is coming back to life. That dream, that calling, that fire inside you, it did not die. It was just buried for a time. But God never forgot where He placed it. And last night, He breathed new life into it. And when God breathes, nothing stays the same. The ashes begin to move. The cold begins to melt. The silence begins to break. That is what is happening inside you right now. This is not just a feeling or an emotion. This is resurrection. Can just saying 9 simple words every day really make money flow into your life? A top neuroscientist says yes, and the FBI accidentally confirmed it too. This forgotten prayer is now changing ordinary people's lives, helping them become free from debt and financially secure for life. But this secret will not stay online forever. Click the link in the description and comments now to learn it before it is permanently deleted. Some of you have been waiting for a clear sign to move forward. This is that sign. Some have been asking for a word to confirm what your spirit already knows deep inside. This is the word you have been waiting for. You don't have to doubt what you feel anymore. God is not the author of confusion. If what you feel brings peace to your heart, pulls you closer to Him, and sets you free, then it is from God. Stop doubting every blessing that comes your way. Stop questioning every good thing you receive. The struggles and pain you went through taught you to expect loss and disappointment, but God is now retraining you to expect favor, to expect goodness, and to expect Him to show up in your life. He is not only the God of your happiest moments on the mountaintops. He is also the God of the valleys, the process, and the waiting. And now, He is showing you the fruit of your waiting, the reward for your endurance. God has not changed His mind about you. He has not taken His hand away from your life. He is still writing your story, and last night He turned the page. The chapter you are about to live will not look like the last one. This new season will not carry the same pain or sorrow you have felt before. There is a fresh new beginning coming into your life, a newness that only God could have made happen. It is a refreshing breath that only heaven itself could send down to you. Your name is written in places you haven't even stepped into yet. There are people talking about you in rooms where you have never been before. God is arranging your life even while you are sleeping, preparing everything perfectly for you. That is why this moment you are in right now is so important. Because while you have been getting ready, heaven has been working behind the scenes, planning everything carefully. This is not about luck or chance. It is about perfect alignment with God's timing. When you walk closely with God, nothing you have been through is wasted. Not the pain you felt, not the long waiting times, not even the quiet moments when it seemed like nothing was happening. Everything has been working together for your good. If you truly believe that this change is meant for you, don't let this moment slip away. Let it settle deep inside your spirit. Let it remind you about who your God really is. The same God who parted the Red Sea to save His people is now clearing the confusion in your mind. The same God who brought Lazarus back to life from the dead is breathing life into the dreams inside you that felt dead and forgotten. The same God who sent fire down from heaven to show His power is now lighting up your heart with fresh faith again. He has not changed one bit. He has not forgotten you for even a moment. So stand tall. Speak with courage, walk with confidence, not because of your own strength or who you think you are, but because of who is walking with you every step of the way. The angels in heaven are no longer waiting. They have already seen the awakening inside you begin. They have seen your eyes open to what God has already done. Now, they are moving forward together with you, helping and guiding you. You are not behind anymore. You are not waiting for something to happen. It already has happened. Don't make the mistake of judging God's work by what you feel inside. Your feelings might tell you that everything is still the same as before, but your spirit knows the truth. Your heart understands what your eyes have not seen yet. God is always working quietly in the background, arranging moments, opening new paths, and lifting up what the world tried to bury deep down. You might not have noticed it when you woke up this morning, but heaven has already started preparing the right people, the right opportunities, and the miracles that were sent out with your name on them last night. Now all you have to do is believe and stay ready in the place God has put you. If you are standing in agreement with God's perfect timing for your life, comment 333 to lock that truth deep in your heart. Heaven didn't just write your name down. It took action on your behalf. And when heaven moves, nothing stays the same. The delays that once made you frustrated are now working to help you. What looked like rejection before was really God's way of redirecting you to something better. God was never punishing you. He was protecting you from things that didn't fit the plan He has for your life. That's why some relationships ended. That's why certain doors closed. That's why other things didn't work out. All of it was because God was preparing you for something far greater than you ever imagined. And now, that greater thing has started moving forward. You don't have to beg for what is already yours. You don't need to prove yourself to receive what God has freely given to you. This shift wasn't about earning your blessings. It was all about the perfect timing God chose. God saw more than just what you did with your hands. He saw the posture of your heart. He saw you trusting Him even when it didn't make sense. He saw you surrendering when others would have given up and walked away. He saw you forgive when it would have been easier to stay angry or bitter. He saw everything you did in the secret places, and last night He answered with release. You might not have heard loud trumpets or seen bright fireworks in the sky, but what has happened in the unseen spiritual world is far more powerful than anything you have experienced in your everyday life. Heaven's move over your life is quiet but unstoppable. It is subtle but mighty. God does not need a big spotlight or showy display to change everything. All He needs is for your heart to say yes. And you have said yes, even when you were tired, even when you were confused. That kind of yes has power beyond what you can imagine. That kind of surrender moves heaven itself. If you have been walking quietly in obedience, unsure if it even matters, comment 555 to declare that your faith has not been wasted or in vain. There is a reason why your spirit feels both stirred up and shaken at the same time. You are feeling the aftershocks of a great heavenly shift. Your soul knows something is different even if your mind has not caught up yet. That's because the place where your spirit has been living is no longer your home. You are moving forward. You are being lifted up. You are being taken from a place of just surviving to a place of real spiritual strength. God is not just bringing you out of a hard season. He is lifting you up into your appointed destiny, the one He planned for you even before you were born. This is why the battles got harder before the breakthrough. This is why things seemed silent and still for a while. The enemy fights hardest when you are closest to your next big moment. He tried everything to discourage you, to make you feel like nothing was working, to pull you into loneliness, distraction, and bitterness. But his plans did not work. You stayed standing. Maybe you barely made it. Maybe there were tears in your eyes, but you didn't quit. And that's exactly what heaven responded to last night. God said, "That one right there, they are ready. Now it is your turn to rise up." Not because everything around you looks perfect, but because your spirit is in agreement with heaven. When your spirit agrees with what heaven has declared, you start to live differently. You talk differently. You trust differently. You know that no matter what you see around you, God is behind it all. He is organizing every moment to serve His perfect plan for your life. Nothing is random. Nothing has been wasted. Every delay, every no, every time you felt ignored or overlooked, it's all coming together now. Why are 55 countries using the same mysterious money method? Because a secret research file was leaked that showed a 9-word phrase that activates the parts of the brain that attract wealth. Say it every day and watch money flow easily into your life, but this secret might be taken down any minute now, so click the link in the description and comments before it is deleted forever. You are never behind. You are just in training, and that training is now over. The testing phase has been passed. Now comes the unveiling. God is showing you the results of the hidden years, the reward for the quiet battles, and the restoration of all that you thought was lost. As this happens, you will start to understand why the weight was so heavy, why the path was so narrow, and why the burden felt so hard to carry. It is because the glory coming to you will be greater than all of that. Heaven's move last night didn't just unlock blessings, it changed who you are. You are not the same broken person others tried to make you believe you were. You are who God says you are. You are chosen. You are set apart. You are called by name. You are covered in grace and surrounded by favor. You are held safely in God's hands. No weapon formed against you will succeed because heaven has already ruled in your favor. The decision has been made. You are free. So walk like you are free. Speak like you are free. Live like you are free. Let go of the lies you believed about yourself. Let go of the doubts that held you back. Let go of the voices that told you would always be stuck. They were wrong. God was working the whole time, and now the proof is about to pour into your life like rain, not because you demanded it, but because you trusted God enough to wait. Because you believed when nothing around you made sense. Because you worshipped even when you didn't have the strength. Heaven rewards hearts like that. This is not the end of your story. It is the start of a brand new chapter. A chapter where the weight you carried is lifted off your shoulders, where the prayers you whispered in secret become powerful testimonies, where the loss you suffered turns into laughter, where the storms you survived become the living proof of God's faithfulness. He is not done with you yet. He is only just beginning. You might still see some struggles when you look around, but what is happening in your sphere? It is already taking control. Your life is catching up with what heaven has already spoken over you. And heaven never makes mistakes. What God declares cannot be undone. No devil, no lie, no delay can cancel what God has spoken. That is why this moment matters so much, because when God speaks, all creation lines up with His word. When God calls your name, everything must change to make space for what He is about to do in your life. If you believe that everything is already starting to line up, comment 1 to confirm it with your faith. There are things that have been locked away for years that are being released right now, not because you finally figured it all out, but because the time is right. You have been faithful. You have waited patiently. You have cried tears. You have even questioned if it was all worth it. And heaven's answer came last night. It mattered more than you know. Every step of obedience, every time you chose to forgive instead of stay bitter, every time you chose to worship instead of giving up, all of that built a foundation, a place where God's promises can land, a space for heaven to come into your life. And now that promise is not something that is coming, it is here. The reason it has been so hard lately is because the enemy knew what you didn't know, that your moment was very close. He threw distractions, discouragement, and lies at you with all his power. He wanted you to give up just before your name was called, but you didn't. You stood strong, even when the ground beneath your feet shook. Now the shaking has stopped. What you are feeling is not fear. It is the sound of a door opening in the spirit. You are not who you were before last night. You are now marked by something different. God's presence has gone ahead of you. You are no longer walking into rooms alone. You are no longer fighting battles with your own strength. The Lord has taken up your cause. The things that once scared or intimidated you will now bow before the authority God is putting on your life. Because when heaven declares a shift, the earth responds. The people around you might not understand it yet, but they will see it soon. This next season of your life will not be about how hard you try, but about how well you are aligned with God's plan. God is moving you out of striving and into trusting. You have been trying to fix everything, hold it all together, and make it all make sense. But God is saying, "Let me take it from here. You have done enough. You have stood long enough. You have hoped enough. Now it is my turn. The battle is not yours anymore. The war is already won." If your heart is ready to stop trying so hard and start trusting more, comment 777. As a way to declare your surrender to God's plan, you did not miss your moment. I want you to hear that again clearly. You did not miss it. Even with all your doubts, even with your mistakes, even with the times you wanted to walk away, God never stopped watching you. He never canceled your purpose. He never took his hand away from you. Last night proved that the angels were amazed, not because of what you did wrong, but because they saw how close you were to breaking through, and you didn't even know it. They knew what God had spoken over you. They saw what God had released, and they were waiting for you to wake up and step into it. And now you are doing just that. Everything changes from this moment on. You are not going back to where you came from. You are stepping into something completely new. You will notice things falling away. People, habits, fears, even thoughts that once had power over you will lose their hold. It is not because you are losing something. It is because you are being prepared to carry something much greater. What used to distract you will not pull at you the same way. What used to shake you will not weigh you down anymore. You are being lifted up, not just in your life, but deep in your spirit. This is what it feels like to be called by heaven, to be known by God, to be seen by Him in the middle of your pain, and still be chosen to rise up. God never needed you to be perfect. He only needed you to stay connected to Him. Now you are about to see why staying connected mattered so much. Things that felt far away and impossible will suddenly become clear. Provision will come from places you didn't expect. Peace will settle where worry and anxiety once lived because you have aligned yourself with what God has already released in the Spirit. What secret did the FBI hide about your brain and money? They discovered a special phrase, just 9 words long, that flips a switch inside your mind. This switch helps you attract wealth easily without having to struggle or try too hard. This simple phrase has already changed the lives of thousands of people in just a few weeks. If you are seeing this message, consider yourself lucky because this page might disappear at any moment. If you want to learn this secret before it is gone forever, click the link in the description or the comments now. Don't wait around for someone else to confirm what God has already told you. Stop asking for signs when you have already received them. Heaven has moved. That movement itself was the sign you were waiting for. This moment, right here, is a part of that movement. Your spirit wouldn't be feeling stirred or moved if nothing had happened. You wouldn't be feeling this way if God hadn't done something powerful in your life. The feeling you have inside is not just a random emotion. It is a divine recognition, a deep knowing in your heart. Even if your mind is still trying to catch up and understand what is happening, your heart already knows the truth. One day, you will look back on this time and realize it was the moment everything started to change. You may not be able to explain it well to everyone around you, but you will know inside. You will remember the moment when the heavy burden broke, when the silence was lifted, and when fear lost its grip on your life. In that moment, you will understand that everything began right then, the night when heaven called your name. God hasn't just come to visit your life for a short time. No, He is moving in to stay. He is taking up space in every part of your life where fear, doubt, and worry used to live. He is moving in to make it clear that this place now belongs to Him. Your heart, your future, your next steps, your purpose, they all belong to God now, and when He takes over, nothing broken stays broken for very long. Heaven has already made room for you. The blessings you have been waiting for have already begun to unfold, even if you don't see all of it just yet. Still, you might be looking around, wondering when these blessings will show up in your life. God is telling you that it has already happened. You are standing in a space between what once held you back and what is about to carry you forward. This place, this in-between time, is actually holy ground. You are not stuck, you are positioned perfectly, positioned for growth, for miracles, and for blessings you never even asked for because God knows exactly what you need before you say a single word. If you are ready to leave behind the old ways and step fully into what God has next for you, then comment 1010. Now to agree with what heaven has already started. You have waited for so long. You have waited long enough to start doubting if your prayers would ever be answered. You have waited long enough to see others receive the things you prayed for. You have waited long enough for the enemy to whisper lies into your ear, telling you that God has forgotten about you. But the devil is a liar. He wanted you to believe that heaven went silent on you, but in truth, heaven was working deeper than you could see. God was never ignoring you. He was investing in you. While you felt alone and abandoned, God was building something inside you that cannot be shaken. Now, what was hidden deep inside you is starting to come up to the surface, the fruit of all the hard work, the reward for all the waiting, and the blessings are beginning to rise. The doors are starting to open. But this is not luck or coincidence. This is the result of seeds planted during painful times, watered with your tears, and rooted deeply in faith. God never forgets the seeds you plant. He never fails to bring in the harvest. You may have thought you were being ignored or overlooked, but God was growing something deep underground, something strong that would one day break through the surface when the time was just right. Now that time has come, and it is breaking through quietly, powerfully, and divinely. What you are feeling now is more than just relief. It is release. Release from fear, from shame, and from everything that once held you back. You no longer belong to the season that tried to break you. You belong to the God who kept you safe. He carried you through the hardest valleys, and now He is leading you into your promises, into healing, and into provision, not just for your own benefit, but so you can be a light for others who are still walking in darkness. That is why your breakthrough is so important. If you believe your breakthrough will give hope to others, comment 1515 to stand in agreement with this truth. God is not only turning your story around, He is rewriting the enemy's attempts to define you. Every negative label the enemy put on you, like rejected, forgotten, failure, or too late, is being erased. Heaven calls you chosen, loved, held, worthy, and restored. And those words carry more power and weight than anything that was spoken against you in your past. What heaven says lasts forever, and heaven said, "You are mine." That is what was sealed last night. It was not just the end of a difficult season. It was the beginning of a divine new season, one where the grace of God goes before you, the favor of God surrounds you, and the promises of God chase after you. You don't have to chase blessings anymore because they are chasing you now. You don't have to beg for peace anymore because it is finding you. You don't have to force any doors open because heaven has already opened them for you. Don't look for confirmation from people who cannot see what God has spoken over your life. Some of them were never meant to understand this part of your story. It's not their fault. God is doing something so personal, so sacred in your life, that they would not be able to understand it, even if you tried to explain it to them. Let their silence be a reminder that this is a matter between you and heaven. Your story is unfolding right now, and they will see the fruit of it when the time is right. For now, keep moving forward. Heaven is not done with you. What started last night is only the beginning. The same God who parted the Red Sea will part the chaos in your life. The same God who fed thousands with a little food will provide more than enough for you. The same God who raised the dead is breathing life into everything you thought was finished and over. Don't be afraid to hope again. Don't hold back your joy because you are worried it might not last. What God is doing right now is not temporary. It is rooted in eternity. You are not being set up for disappointment. You are being prepared for a powerful testimony. Your life is about to tell stories of God's goodness in ways no sermon ever could. People will notice the change in you. They will see the peace that shines from inside you. They will wonder where your strength came from. And when they ask, you will say, "It all happened the night heaven moved for me." Let go of the old voice in your head that says, "Maybe it's too late." God doesn't work according to your calendar. He moves by purpose, and His purpose for your life has not expired, not even close. In fact, the long delay you have experienced has only made room for a double portion of blessing. This is the truth you need to hold onto. Your breakthrough is here. The secret the FBI discovered about your brain and money is only a small part of the greater truth God has been working on in your life. Your spirit knows this. Your heart knows this. Now it's time for you to fully believe it too.